How bad is the Modern Warfare 3 campaign? This is gonna be great.
And we're back with another episode of Before You Buy. That show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first
Ooh,
impressions
night
on
vision.
the latest games releasing. And today we're talking Modern Warfare 3. We're a little late on this, but before the rest of the game launches, here we are talking specifically about the campaign. So, quickly following up last year's Modern Warfare 2 is this Modern Warfare 3 campaign, and we sometimes break campaign and multiplayer into separate videos if people are...
So, they put on night vision for roughly 5 seconds, then they go in, and then there's no indicator that there's light inside here, and he just removes the night vision. I'm already confused.
are interested enough, and I'm usually the campaign guy, so yeah, I've played every Call of Duty campaign, good and bad, just because I like a nice, fun, bombastic adventure. I'm kind of casual with the multiplayer, but these campaigns always just kind of feel like big, silly action movies, sometimes short, but sweet and full of action. Unfortunately, Modern Warfare 3 is really short and not really sweet, and not really...
I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but is the Modern Warfare 3 campaign just kill the Russians in America because they're invading or something like that? Because if that is true, by the way, that would explain why the story and campaign are so shit. Because this was forced to be rushed by Activision, by the Pentagon. I'm not even joking, by the way. This is a thing. In America, if you make a movie and it fits a certain criteria, the U.S. government, aka the places like the Pentagon and whatnot, are gonna ask you to change things about movies so it sends a certain message. So this, if this is true, if this is really about the Russians are invading America and now you need to get them and drive them out and whatnot. If this is true, this kind of explains it, because yeah. I mean, this would be crazy if this is actually the story. But again, is it the story? Also, what the hell is these graphics? This is worse than Starfield. Wow, look at this. That's sad.
Really full of any exciting action. It has a few moments here and there, but these moments feel out of place because the rest of it just feels so slapped together. It feels like a real low. Now, just before we keep going, we're not playing a review copy. We bought this, and this footage is captured running on PS5 and is spoiler-free.
Wait, what? What did we just see? Look at this guy.
Bought this, and this footage is captured...
Yo! He didn't even shoot him! He just fell over! And look at the... Look at his gun.
Copy, we bought this, and this footage is captured...
The guy just disappears. This is some dude, this is some true Starfield level of game design right there, boys. Wow.
Running
impressive.
On PS5 and is spoiler-free. So anyway, housekeeping aside, the setup here is the gang is in action. You know, Ghost, Price, Gaz, Soap, Laswell, Farah, all kind of assembled after the interesting Modern Warfare reboot and the OK Modern Warfare 2 campaign. They're doing their thing until the big bad...
Wait. So, dude. So that going down... That just seems so bad, honestly.
Villain, Vladimir Makarov...
Yeah, it's true. It's actually true. It is about that. Holy moly. Because, no, seriously, this is the thing. The US government... In every Marvel movie, where you think, wait, this is strangely a little bit off, why are we killing this dictator or something like that in a Marvel movie? That's because of the US government. The US government does do that. They literally check the movie before release and they want to change stuff. They do, so the message is different. Oh, dude, this is crazy. No wonder this campaign is shit. Are you ready, Americans? How about all of those army recruitment ads that are suddenly running? And they have no diversity in them for some very strange reason, considering how important that is in America. And now this. I hope you're ready.
Goes up and the world is under threat as he and his army works to do bad guy stuff, frame other countries, launch bombs, and cause chaos. This one feels most removed from the previous games because, like, despite some end of the world stuff going down, like the
cutscene's not great, by the way, but it actually is not that horrible considering we saw literal pixelated shit at the start. Okay, I guess the cutscenes aren't a 0 out of 10. Woo!
A lot of it still feels really low-key, and presentation-wise and tonally doesn't quite match up to the previous two games.
Oh, I feel some girl boss energy from Mrs. Farah right here. Look at that. I'm coming with you. No.
And tonally doesn't quite match up to the previous two campaigns, especially the first one. Kind of just starts and moves along with the occasional cutscene, but a lot of it is told over like voiceovers over maps. And I know none of that stuff is like
that's cool,
out of the ordinary for a Call of Duty campaign, but nothing really exciting ever happens. And again, despite like nukes and bombs and bad guys, there's really just a couple of moments here and there. There is still Price, who is definitely the standout here. I've said it before, I've said it again, like the actor behind him just feels unique, and the character has a really good presence. But most of the characters they've also built up don't really get to shine as much as they could in this game because...
Well, the enemies are pretty bad at taking cover, it seems like.
I'll just be frank. This is a really, really short campaign. It might take you like 4 hours on one playthrough on normal or hard. Listen, if you just play multiplayer, you probably don't care. But hey, even if you're buying this as part of an overall package, it still needs to be up to par. And that's the biggest problem. It's not only that it's just a few hours, it's that it's not a very good few hours. To the point where some missions aren't even really missions. Like with good planned enemy encounters and scripted moments and interesting level design, all that stuff. Some missions actually are just kind of glorified bits of Warzone, the multiplayer mode. Yeah,
Yeah, this is what most people are complaining about in this game. That it is essentially just a ginormous asset flip. Some maps are literally the previous game. And then, I don't know what an open mission is, but I understand that people are not happy with open field missions or whatever they're supposed to be called. Yeah.
Quote-unquote weapons-free open combat zones you're dumped into are chaotic, but bland. And you run around and you can find special crates to find rare weapons or other drops to change your operator loadout. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, it's Warzone. It has a couple of little stealth spins on it here and there, but yeah, ultimately, a handful of missions in this campaign are just mini Warzone.
I remember playing situations like this at the docks from other games when I was a kid. I didn't like them. It's like running through a dock-like maze and you're encountering enemies time to time. That's so boring.
Which is what you'd get if you wanted to play multiplayer. And the problem with like these big open-ended missions is that the enemy AI and encounters are just not exciting here as they are in like the main normal thought out missions. The enemies are just kind of running around, running towards you, and
that's good.
It's fine, but just nowhere near as satisfying or fun or engaging as a standard classic Call of Duty mission. You also just lose out.
Also, some people are saying if you don't die in these missions and you don't have to restart, that you can finish the campaign not in 4 hours, but in 2 hours, which makes it just so much worse, honestly.
On interesting levels and good shootouts in fun, thought-out areas. Here now, it's just open fields with generic bunkers or storage facilities with containers and crates and boats. Plus, the objectives usually just amount to run here and grab this. Bring up your map, just go to that thing and do it, you idiot. That's it, really. Like,
yeah, I have heard people complain about that also. And you want to know what's the funniest part of this complaint? Every game is pretty much just boiled down to story-wise. Go here, do this, pick up this, plant this, explodey loady this, and maybe, you know, wipe everyone here. That's literally every game. But you see, if the game is good, we don't complain about it. You know, if the whole game is just literally a ginormous fetch quest and nothing else, as long as it's good, no one's gonna complain about it. But the moment the game is bad, we instantaneously just, oh, this is just a giant fetch quest. It's not because the fetch quests are bad. You can make a whole game, a 20-hour campaign about something that is just a giant glorified non-stop fetch quest. And no one's gonna bat an eye if it's good. But in Modern Warfare 3 situation, it's bad, so everyone instantaneously is bringing it up that the whole game is just a glorified fetch quest.
Like, it might sound harsh, but again, if I wanted to play Warzone...
Also, that package just went through the... Yeah. Wow, this is poor quality.
If I wanted to play Warzone, I would just play Warzone. What makes it feel worse is that there is still genuinely good stuff tucked away in here. I still think that after building characters from the last 2 games, they would have done a little more with them here. But at the very least, a couple of cool moments, like
Did he shoot him in the leg?
Chemical attack, where you're running through an office building as it spews in through vents and under doors, and people are running around dying in front of you. They're trying to bust through doors and bust through glass just to survive and get away from the gas, all while you're running and fighting your way to get to an exit. It was short, brief, but still genuinely harrowing. Also, this game does kind of do a new spin on the controversial No Russian mission. You know, the airport civilian shooting from the original Modern Warfare series. That original mission made headlines and it was divisive. Some people thought it went way too far. But either way, it was a creative choice.
I get it wasn't a creative choice. That probably was absolutely 100% shoehorned into this game by the US government, otherwise the game would not be allowed to release. This is how it works. You can Google and find out that this is real. I think it was the Pentagon that's actually responsible for this sort of crap. Wouldn't surprise me if some other 3-letter agency also was involved in this.
And it was cemented in video game history and fandom either way. Now, this time around, it's like a new brutal Makarov scheme, but in a different setting. I don't know if it's gonna hit as hard or like stoke mainstream conversation as much, but still, I found it genuinely terrifying and unsettling. Mission accomplished there.
Well, no, the mission is to desensitize you against the enemy. That's the mission. This is unironically what this is, by the way. This is just modern day propaganda. It is built like that, and that's what they want. Really fun stuff, honestly, if you're interested in that type of things. But yeah, for a game, yeah, it makes sense that it ruins things.
They did something compelling. And Makarov himself is also compelling. He's a charismatic villain here. He doesn't get too much time, but there could be something there. Also, he looks like Gary Vee, and that's kind of funny. But still, with this game, it only feels like one major thing happens, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. This is gonna sound harsh, but playing it kind of really felt like this was just made out of obligation. A placeholder just to keep the brand going, or serve as like a special box checked for me to just re-download the massive, obnoxious file size Modern Warfare, to then just kind of get a bunch of pop-ups for season passes and Warzone ads as soon as I even fire the game up. Now listen, I know I am not the target demographic for most of this package. And again, we haven't talked about the multiplayer and all the other stuff, but we're talking campaign here today. You know, I haven't been hardcore into Call of Duty multiplayer since like the original Modern Warfare, but still, I think most Call of Duty campaigns have something of merit. You know, a fun, silly little adventure, and it feels like they've
girl boss time, yay!
Finally cast single-player adventure content to the side here, or at least are just kind of limping it along half alive, because there are these sprinkles of these creative moments. Makarov being a little scary, you know, the new...
Okay, is she actually like a super blatantly, visibly girl boss? Because it kind of seems like that.
But no Russian incident, a couple little encounters here and there. Price still just kind of being a badass. There is some stuff here, but it feels like the team wasn't given enough time or budget to really flesh out a compelling new adventure to play through, and just kind of slap some Warzone maps.
Yeah, did you really think that grenade is gonna just, you know, work there, Chief? You know, questions.
Together. I was disappointed, to say the least, but this has kind of felt like it was inevitable. There was a Black Ops just a few years ago where Call of Duty was like, nah, we're not going to do single player here. The new Modern Warfare reboot was a high, but it does feel like they're losing interest in single player, fun, adventures, campaigns, and that's a shame. Maybe I'm old, maybe I'm becoming a...
How do people die with AI like this? It feels like you... It feels like you're not even getting shot here, honestly.
But
really
I don't like
doesn't.
to see that. So not too much more to say here. I am pretty harsh on it. I know if you're just looking for something and you blast through it in 3 or 4 hours and you are at least like, you know, moderately entertained, there is that. But I don't know. I just expected more here. Potato. This just clearly feels like a smaller side project that gets in the way of zombies and the next big Warzone thing. But hey, that's just me. This is a before you buy. You know how this goes down by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion. And now I want to hear yours down in the comments. What do you think about this campaign? Chances are, if you jumped into it, you finished it already. What do you think they're going to do if they do a Modern Warfare 4? Modern Warfare. Let's go.
Modern
let's talk
Warfare.
anything about
That
this,
sounds
about
good,
Modern Warfare 3, whether you're interested in the rest of the package, if you want to see us cover that, or you're just, I don't know, looking for something to watch about video games today. If we helped you pass the time there, all you can do is click the like button. It legitimately helps us. Thank you. But, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Interesting video. Wow. Anyway, that was Gamer Ranks. What a time to be alive. Wow. That did not look good at all. Not gonna lie, that did not look good at all. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid. Say thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.